Kicking off the 1990 edition of Survivor Series with a Sin Remover, mainly because introductions to pay-per-view events back in the day got right to the point. These guys are facing these guys. Time to find out who will survive and who will die.
All the surviving team members will participate.
Damn, that is another sin off, because that is honestly one of the most creative ideas for Survivor Series. Take the survivors of the first 5 Survivor Series matches and pit them against one another in the ultimate survival showdown. WWE should consider doing that again for a future Survivor Series match. Survivor Series 1990, the night for one of Vince McMahon's best ideas ever, and the night for one of his worst ideas ever. I can only imagine what the fans throughout 1990 were feeling in the hype to the egg. What makes Roddy Piper think that George Bush is even watching this pay-per-view event when he's too busy being the President of the United States? Clearly the term perfect team is a reference to team captain Mr. Perfect. However, I would disagree with anything being perfect, so that team gets a perfect sin. I guess I do believe in some perfect things. Mid-entrance interviews.
Bible, but don't look bass.
Did Mean Gene Okerlund just say don't look bass, as in he thinks the Ultimate Warriors team are going to look for sea bass when looking at the perfect team?
Pinfall, submission, or count out.
Gene Okerlund forgot to mention that there are disqualifications in these Survivor Series matches as well. My only assumption to the several disqualifications that occurred throughout the night is because the wrestlers thought there was none since Gene forgot to mention it.
What a rush!
The Legion of Doom made it so quickly to the ring, I wonder if they didn't even wait for their music to play before walking down the aisle. First off, the referee didn't even signal for the bell to be rung, so the match shouldn't have officially started yet. But even if the referee did signal for the bell to be rung, it was at the worst moment given all members from both teams are still in the ring. I guess this will just be a brawl instead of a Survivor Series match. I'm honestly down for that.
You don't want to make any mistakes.
Too late.
Animal didn't want to waste any.
Smash has not even reacted to any of Animal's punches, only the first piece of action, and it's already given me a bad feeling.
Match to catch a pin eyeball.
The referee turned his head away before Mr. Perfect could tag himself in, meaning that tag should not be legal whatsoever, and yet it is. Man, the Perfect team are not perfectly coordinated, are they? Ultimate Warrior connects a shoulder tackle followed by a signature splash, and not once does it occur to Axe's teammates that he may be in trouble of elimination and needs help. That was strange. Hawk gets tagged in, he's fired up, but then hesitates with a "just to clarify, you tagged me, right?" look on his face.
Go for the cover.
Man, Roddy Piper would have been great at Cinema Sins 2 expansion in the 1990s era. Imagine.
Go for the ride now, yes.
The fuck was that supposed to be?
I don't think there was a legal tag made there.
Gorilla Monsoon points out how Animal did not make a legal tag. Meanwhile, Crush did not make a legal tag either on the other side of the ring. Once again, another moment where the referee just allows illegal tags. Clothesline? That was a shoulder tackle, not a clothesline. Is Gorilla about to say that when Ultimate Warrior connects a shoulder tackle again? Let me guess, from Gorilla's perspective, that was a flying shoulder tackle.
Legion of Doom and Demolition disqualified.
Hawk was the only one who attacked the referee, so he should have been the only one disqualified in this instant. But also, even if that wasn't the case, the 2 legal men were still in the ring, whereas Crush and Animal were not the legal men. So why weren't they the only ones who got disqualified? Why disqualify even the legal wrestlers who have the right to be in the ring? This makes no sense at all.
We don't have to worry about offspring.
Roddy Piper believes that Bobby Heenan won't be able to have any children all because he got thrown over a barricade. Well, I guess that means I'm fucked on having future Maracle children. And again, I'm gay, so at least I'll adopt.
Oh, perfect flex.
I'm adding in another 3 sins because throughout the entire pinfall, you can clearly see the Texas Tornado's shoulder is off the canvas, and the referee is literally watching it too and somehow doesn't see that obvious fact. And I thought the referees of today were stupid.
Got the fingers locked.
Given how stupid this referee was of the Texas Tornado, I'm surprised he didn't continue to count to 3 given the controversial victory to Mr. Perfect. Whoever that asshole is firing the air horn. The Ultimate Warrior finishes off Mr. Perfect to win the match, and the only thing Roddy Piper cares about is his missing pencil.
Heart Foundation, you're on your way to Heartbreak Hotel.
Alright, I gotta admit that pun from Ted DiBiase was funny. I actually chuckled hearing that one. Everybody's got a price, and Ted cashed in on a Sin Remover. Although I got this strange feeling it's not gonna be the only one tonight.
Led to the ring by Brother Love.
One would think that a controversial and irritating Love character would be a weird-ass manager for someone like the freaking Undertaker, given they're complete opposites. And I'm one of those guys. The reactions from the commentators and the fear of the audience. You just know the greatest and most respected professional wrestler of all time just walked into the WWF for the first time ever. Discount Freddie Mercury over there has the exact reaction I think I would have if I was in the audience seeing that towering figure for the first time ever.
Tombstone.
Koko B. Ware being the first ever victim of the deadly tombstone pile driver is likely the only reason that guy somehow got inducted into the WWE Hall of Fame. Also, Gorilla Monsoon somehow knows that The Undertaker calls that move the tombstone pile driver mere minutes after seeing him for the first time ever.
I think it's a tombstone and it's over.
You know, Koko could have easily put his leg on the ropes literally a foot away from him during this pinfall. Also, Gorilla states that it's over well before the referee could finish his count.
It's the match started.
Bret Hart hits a vicious punch to The Undertaker, which pisses him off and makes him want to tag out? Wait, what?
I think he just wasted a couple of valuable seconds there.
Roddy Piper isn't the only one who would have been great at Cinema Sins 2 expansion on the commentary. You can literally hear Ted DiBiase count along with the audience during these 10 elbows from Dusty Rhodes.
Virgil the Stooge. Oh no!
Jim the Anvil Neidhart has clearly shown that he could take a lot of punishment, but apparently a slight distraction and a barely effective clothesline is enough to put him away. Begging for mercy.
Look at that.
Holy fuck!
Put your heart into it!
Wah wah. Roddy Piper is full of puns tonight. My head is honestly pounding from all the puns I've heard in the first 40 minutes of this pay-per-view.
Like a ton of brick, this guy.
Let's be thankful The Undertaker didn't get counted out in his first match if the year was 2022, otherwise the audience would immediately declare him buried and throw temper tantrums. The referee was counting out both Ted and Bret and was at 5, but then he randomly decided to restart the count for whatever reason, even though neither wrestler went back into the ring to break the count. Wrestler accidentally attacks his manager when they try to get involved in the match cliche.
We're in the shower,
That is without a doubt the weirdest location to ever hold an interview with wrestlers before their upcoming match.
The Phenom!
Kind of funny and ironic that Jimmy Snuka is referred to as the Phenom right after we just witnessed the arrival of the future Phenom.
I hate snakes.
The Warlord clearly tagged in Paul Roma in full view of the referee, and he didn't call for the tag for whatever stupid reason. Is it too much to ask for one event where referees are not incompetent, past or present? I have to admit that Marty Jannetty did a great job suckering in the Warlord into accidentally hitting Hercules. Awesome quickness from that rocker. This pinfall should not count at all since the Warlord's shoulder is completely off the canvas thanks to Marty's leg.
It looked like a low blow to me.
Roddy Piper believes that a clear punch to the gut was a low blow. Damn, that was an impressive cash into the power slam from the Warlord on Marty Jannetty. Really liking this match so far.
Oh, he's hurt bad.
Rick Martel has only been tagging in just to pin his opponents, which works 0% of the time. If anything, Paul Roma should have tried to pin Shawn Michaels. Maybe they would have had a better chance of eliminating him then.
The greatest Survivor Series.
Roddy Piper believes that a stare-down between Jake Roberts and Hercules qualifies this entire show to be the best Survivor Series ever.
Well, showing us some agility.
Hercules' delayed reaction to Jake's knee counter. That weird twirling motion from Shawn Michaels once he got tagged in. Hercules is begging for mercy, so naturally that means it's time to spin me right round. The momentum of this match is starting to heat up. It's getting intense. Hey, you know what sounds like a great idea? Let's switch the camera to the audience instead. Jake Roberts likely got himself counted out because he no longer gave a shit about the match, and outnumbered 4-1, I suppose that's understandable, but it still feels like a rip-off ending. WWF promotes the upcoming Royal Rumble event about as much times as they promote Hulu decades later.
Martel.
Roddy Piper listing off names of wrestlers who are not even in the ring for this next Survivor Series elimination match. While heading to the ring, Tugboat decided to channel his inner bushwhackers, kinda like I did in that music video with Brian Zane. Each member of the Hulkamaniacs entered the arena to their own individual theme, whereas everyone in the Natural Disasters entered to Earthquake's theme. Why do they get their own entrance and the Disasters don't? Hulk Hogan's shirt absolutely hates him tonight since it's refusing to tear apart when Hulk is struggling.
None of these guys.
Roddy Piper just said a double negative by saying, I ain't a fan of none of these guys, meaning he's a big fan of all those guys. Hacksaw Jim Duggan letting the other wrestlers know that he doesn't intend to wrestle in this wrestling match. The bell has rung. Time for posing.
Talk about a real American.
And then Hulk Hogan turned his head to the direction of Gorilla Monsoon saying, Hey, you can't reference my theme song into another wrestler, brother.
You gotta give it to the other team.
That elbow shot from Hacksaw Jim Duggan would look more effective if Haku didn't stop in his tracks right before it was connected.
Look at the weasel screaming at Haku.
Well, considering Bobby Heenan has his back to the camera and isn't making much of any noise at all, that was an awkward line.
A lot of them are making errors.
Well, that was awkward. Jim Duggan tags in the Big Boss Man, who was then blocked from entering the ring thanks to Jim's head getting in the way.
Monster yet to make an appearance.
To be fair, this match is only 2 minutes old and not everyone has had a chance to compete yet. There'd have to be a tag at least 5 times per minute for everyone to get a chance to perform. Big Boss Man eliminates Haku, then automatically assumes he can pick who enters next by grabbing onto Dino Bravo, ignoring the Barbarian who's already entered in the ring.
He should punch concentrate on the men in the ring.
I've already said this several times, but this deserves to be said several times. Roddy Piper would be greatest admittance to expansion. This guy speaks my language.
Just measuring the Big Boss Man now.
Well, that's what the Barbarian gets for wasting time posing instead of immediately dropping the elbow on Big Boss Man. Hacksaw Jim Duggan is an idiot. I get that he's angry at Jimmy Hart for getting himself involved, but not caring about getting disqualified at this event for his team is a bad idea, especially when every survivor will face off in the main event. Gorilla Monsoon declares that Hulk Hogan eliminated Dino Bravo with a small package before the pinfall was completed. Imagine if he was wrong. Big Boss Man got elbowed by Earthquake so hard it turned himself into an earthquake as he continuously humps the ring canvas. Man, either Gorilla Monsoon is a dick for forgetting about Tugboat, or Tugboat is perhaps the most forgettable wrestler in WWF history. The two biggest competitors in an elimination match get eliminated because of a double countout cliche. I won't lie, the fact that they keep playing Hulk Hogan's music while he beats the crap out of Bobby Heenan was hilarious to watch.
Trimmings, the dressing, the mashed potatoes.
Yeah, I know, we're in the Thanksgiving season, that's how it works with Survivor Series, but can Mean Gene Okerlund please get to the point?
You don't know anything about the Macho King, me.
Just like you don't know that I secretly can't see out of these glasses. I got them because they look cool, then realized they covered up both ends of it. By the way, am I even looking at you?
18,000, don't take it.
Well, if that is the case, then those fans are just a bunch of suckers. Oh, wait, wrong wrestler, my bad. Also, awesome as it is to see the Macho King Randy Savage, this very long interview does nothing for the future of this event. You think maybe we can move forward with the next match?
I almost forgot about that humongous egg.
Don't worry, Gorilla. Literally everyone else forgot about that egg, so we might as well just move it aside and never speak of it again.
Look who we got coming now. Nikolai Volkov.
That's Tito Santana, Roddy. Nikolai Volkov's music may be playing, but that's Tito Santana on his way to the ring. Nikolai is already in the ring.
But God bless him.
No disrespect to Mean Gene Okerlund, but he's being an asshole. Sergeant Slaughter is making his way to the ring for the next Survivor Series match. Why are you interrupting that to ask him a few questions? Couldn't have done that before he entered? Also, the microphone isn't even on, so that further increases the awkwardness of this moment. Sergeant Slaughter's speech about supporting a brand is taking about as long as the Randy Savage interview earlier. Does Slaughter have to talk slower than he normally does? Jesus, that interview lasted nearly 5 whole minutes, with Sergeant Slaughter's music playing on repeat throughout. That's literally half the length of the match he competes in. I bet the Alliance was wondering if they were ever going to compete at all. These fans probably left because they realized they were getting more talking than they were getting wrestling tonight. I love Roddy Piper as much as the next guy, but quit your cheerleading, even though Sergeant Slaughter betrayed the United States. Never before has it been so easy to eliminate wrestlers in a Survivor Series match, am I right, guys? Conversations during matches, as you could clearly hear Nikolai Volkov instruct Sergeant Slaughter to take an elbow shot. Thanks for letting us know what's about to happen. What a devastating kick to the air. While this match wasn't as fun as some of the others, I gotta give props to Sergeant Slaughter. He's literally outnumbered 4-1, and he ends up defeating nearly everyone on the Alliance's team. And the only reason he loses is because of a disqualification. He may talk a lot of shit, but he can get the job done. The referee gets knocked over at the crucial point in the match, cliche.
Sergeant Slaughter has been disqualified.
I'm honestly surprised Sergeant Slaughter didn't beat the shit out of General Adnan after the latter got involved and cost him the entire match after that amazing 4-on-1 performance. The next 10 minutes involving the debuting Gobbledy Gooker is one of the craziest yet heavily disappointing in the early days of WWF pay-per-view history. I'll throw in 15 cents because a lot of time was wasted on this.
Oh, there it is! I love it!
When an entire crowd is booing something that's been hyped up for 2 entire hours, all just for that, you know you fucked up. Even though it was disappointing to see the entire egg segment turn into this, I will admit I laughed at Mean Gene Okerlund trying to dance and falling over. Not to mention, the Gobbledy Gooker has actually a very catchy theme song. I was even bobbing my head to the music, so maybe this wasn't an entire waste of time. I'll take off at least 5 cents to make up for the 15. About 30 seconds of panning the crowd before anyone's music hit for the main event. If I were the Ultimate Warrior, I wouldn't be running to the ring for the second time because I already competed earlier in the night and lost quite a bit of energy. I won't lie, as creative as the idea for a Survivor Series showdown is, this main event disappoints. It's less than 10 minutes long, and everyone gets eliminated quickly one after the other before they get a chance to put on a great match. What a shame. Also, WWF has a weird fetish of eliminating the Warlord very fast ever since he lasted only 2 seconds in the 1989 Royal Rumble match. I can't be the only one who noticed, right?
Boy, Tina was coming fast.
That's what she said.
There he goes. Boy, referee a little slow with the count.
Actually, that count was as fast as Earl Hebner normally counts during pinfalls, so I don't see the issue here. For a match that disappointed because of how rushed it was, at least there was one cool moment. That superplex and frog splash combination was well timed.
Cover him.
Even if Ultimate Warrior wanted to go for the cover, Rick Martel was already getting back to his feet, so it wouldn't have worked anyway.